Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to put my headphones on.
So I just felt like I had to be dressed to just run out the
Yeah, I hear
door.
you. I didn't I didn't get my background up in time. So we're both good. We're we're not so matchy today. Okay, ready? Going live on Instagram. Here we
Okay.
are. We're live here on YouTube and Facebook, just about to go live here on Instagram. You can see that we did not get a chance to be so matchy today. If you've joined us on Thursday mornings before or previously on Wednesday mornings, you could see that we're matchy sometimes. Today's not one of those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on jury duty. Things are a little nutty for me. I got to run out of here.
Yeah. Thanks for doing your civic duty.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
I did want to try and be here in person. So since it's a little bit later, I thought I'd be here.
Yay. Thanks for being here. Woohoo. Hi. Welcome to our weekly Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern chat with Alegre Natascha of BYWD, or Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. And we are committed to, our mission statement is to help you find ways to better prioritize yourself, also ways to save time, and also help you achieve your goals. I love that you've got your I Love New York mug happening. That makes me so happy. Look at
this is lemon water from I'm not sure actually how many days now. This is what happens when I'm not on schedule.
What do you mean you don't know how many days?
Well, because I have lemon water every day.
Yeah.
But I've been in court this whole week.
You mean so this is your first lemon water in a few days? Or
no. I've had lemon water, but the fact that this lemon water was sitting next to my desk.
Oh, gotcha.
Is it from this week?
It is. It has a nice patina. I just like your mug because I'm from New York. And can you see it? Can you see what it says?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, yeah. So we're both drinking from New York.
No, I'm just confused because I don't think I've sat here in the morning this whole week because I've been having to go to court. So I requested on Instagram. I don't know if you see the request so that I can be on there.
I do see the request, but we were chatting so much. I ignored it. I didn't. I mean, it's there. I just didn't. You should be on in just a second, y'all. So Alegre will be joining us here in a second, hopefully on Instagram if all technology decides to go ahead. And here she is. Yay. Okay, I'm going to adjust.
By the way, if you enjoy our lives, also go to our website, bywdreams.com, and check out the many YouTube and podcast interviews that we've done. We've done a couple dozen at this point, and we're going to be regulars on the Nikki Madero show. So there's a couple you can watch up there. And their videos. So check those out at bywdreams.com. We talk about all different things. Last week, we talked about some controversy around dress codes at schools, and also about our, bread and butter, which is about planning about at what point do you tell your kids, hey, you got to lock down your Halloween costume.
Right. So today is the 26th. So hopefully it's locked already.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're talking about
locked.
Hopefully Tuesday is Halloween.
So it wasn't last week. Sorry, it was the week before that we were on Nikki's show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm in a time warp with
I know
right now. So
you thought yesterday was Thursday. So
yeah.
And that is not normal for Alegre, y'all.
No, I'm so not used to having my schedule not be my own. Right. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening. So hopefully it won't be much longer and I'll be back on schedule. So
yes,
anyway.
Totally. Yeah. But we all know that when something's so completely out of our regular routine, how that can just mess us up. Like the other morning I woke up and I was like, oh no, the time change is coming. Right. And it's actually kind of late this year, but like, it's coming, right? We're going to set our clocks and all of a sudden it's going to be dark at 4:00 in the afternoon. And like, I don't know about the rest of you, but it takes me like a good week to like readjust to that. Right. And so anytime you have that kind of, throw jury duty, time change, or, suddenly you're taking care of, a sick relative or something. This is why it's really great to have something like a morning ritual. I had a friend stay over this weekend. She flew in for the weekend and it was so fun to have her here and stuff, but so much of my ritual went out the window because of it, and then like getting myself back on track on Monday, felt good, but I had something to get back on track too. So that's one of the things that's really great about having a routine. And two, like also just kind of like going, wow, I really let some things go off my radar, go fly out the window. And it didn't feel good. I don't feel good about it. Right. It was like 3 PM before I took my supplements. It was like, one of the days I didn't even make my bed. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh no. But it just cause she was there. We started talking, coffee, blah, blah, blah. What's she up to? Da, da, da. And then next thing, we're off on our day and I didn't make my bed. So it's good to kind of like get back into that ritual.
Yes. Yeah. And I've kept up with most of my morning ritual, but sometimes something's gotta give. I've been in a comedy competition and
yes, how'd that go? It was yesterday.
Yeah. And the comedy competition has been, months in advance. And so I didn't expect to still be on jury duty. And so the combination of jury duty and then last night I had the comedy competition, which I'm moving on to the next round. I won second place last night. It was a sold out audience.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks. But it was all very like it's challenging to be like up and perform when you've spent the whole day like listening to some just doing active listening and then listening to some stuff
legal mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, it's tiring. And then to have to like be up and then on top of it, I love watching comedy and the monitor wasn't working in the green room. So I couldn't watch any of the sets that happened before me. I was the last person. So I didn't so instead I'm like back there, like just in my head, because usually I just get to, enjoy what everyone else is saying. And that's really fun for me as someone who loves comedy, as a consumer. And so, so last night was just, there was that happening. And it was just like, it was a lot mentally to try and hold it together before you go on. I don't know if it, for people who perform, it's like the time between like getting ready to perform and performing can be nerve wracking.
So for sure. Absolutely.
It's better to just
longer you wait. It's better. Sometimes you're like, I'd love to just be the first one and get it over with, or close to the beginning or something like that.
Right. No, I was so jealous. The guy who went first, he's like, okay, bye y'all. I'm going to go out into the audience and watch. And I was like, darn it.
Right. Yeah.
So it's almost the end of the month. And actually, something we haven't really talked about in this format is something that Natasha and I do with our students and we do personally, which is a monthly course correct. And a monthly course correct is so important. First of all, it's important to have a regularly scheduled time to evaluate what's been going on in your life, because if you only do it when you choose to do it, then you might only evaluate when things are good. Or if you only do it when you choose to do it, you might only evaluate when things are bad, just depending on how you're inspired, if you would. But the good thing about doing it every month is that it's not attached to your emotion about it. It's the end of the month. I need to do a review. And oops, sorry, an alarm went off there. And so it's great to have that month snapshot that is devoid of emotion about, oh, well, this is a good month, so I want to evaluate, or this is a bad month, so I want to evaluate. So that's one thing.
And having it just be regular, right? Like, businesses and corporations, they don't just haphazardly go like, oh, let's do a review, like they have a regular scheduled, when you have a regular scheduled time period, it makes it a lot easier to ultimately track overall.
Yeah, to track. And so, a lot of people will set goals at the beginning of the year and then never look at them again. And it's much harder to move things forward if you're not keeping track of them, right? So for instance, I had a goal to perform stand-up, I think I wanted to perform in April of this year. I think it actually happened earlier than that, but then I had wanted to do an audition by June of this year and it didn't actually happen until August, but it was in my brain reminding me like, you had a goal. And because I saw it there, I could say, oh wait, I want to do this thing. I wanted to do this thing. It was reminding me and I was looking back on it to keep myself reminded. So it's a great way to just keep you engaged with the things that you said you wanted to do at the beginning of the year by having a monthly opportunity to reflect and say, oh, right, this is what I wanted to do this month. Some of it I got done. Some of it I didn't get done. That's normal, right? but what's my plan going to be next month? And
Excellent.
how am I going to do that?
Right. It helps you stay on track, helps you do the things you say you want to do. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some planners nowadays even have monthly reviews built into the planners, which is great. We also have a template that we created for ourselves, and we actually, Natasha and I, give it to our students, and we ask them to just print out 12 copies or 11 copies, because the end of the year we do an end of the year review, which is a little more comprehensive. And coming up, I can't believe
right. Oh my God.
And coming up, but we have this great review, and it's just, you ask yourself, like a half dozen questions, and then you fill out some little arts and crafts, so this is more,
visual. Oh, well, excuse me, the other side. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong side.
Yeah, so this is more visual and a little more quantitative. It helps you try to quantitate squishy stuff, right? It's like, how do you feel about your human interactions? We don't always give a number to it, but you can say, I felt great. I want to fill it in all the way. It goes up to number 10. So if you want to pay attention to the number, if you want to pay attention just to the wedge, we like to do different colors. And it's just a fun way to reflect on your month. And what I think is really powerful now that I've been doing it for many years is seeing the trends that happen over time, and also seeing like, oh, it's not always all full. And it's also not always completely empty. Like there's change, and that's normal.
Right. And the goal isn't necessarily to have it all full all the time or have it perfectly balanced. There's a lot of talk about like what life work balance, and we're not necessarily about balance per se, because different seasons of your life require different things, and maybe it's just going to be unbalanced, and that's okay too.
It is
to try to achieve this, like this balance, meaning
mystical.
Yeah, right. That everything's always, you're always 100% all the time in all categories is like A, unrealistic, and B, can be like stress inducing actually, Yeah.
And I actually find evaluation to be very, it actually calms me down, like regardless of if I have or haven't achieved things, just to take the time to reflect and say, this is what it was. I don't know. I find that
it can be motivating for sure. It can be motivating, but also like, you get to the end of the month and you're not remembering what you did at the beginning of the month, unless you take a look and see, and like, oh my goodness, you did get that audition in, or we did release that book, or, and that kind of thing where, it gets to the end of the month because, things are all Halloween crazy and stuff. I don't remember that, we really actually did some stuff earlier this month to acknowledge, and you can just get caught up in the craziness of what's going on in your day to day and not take the time to acknowledge the big and small things.
Yes.
You have going on.
Yeah. And I think that's what's calming about it, right? Is that acknowledgement, the acknowledgement of like, this is my life, and this, this was fulfilling, even if I didn't do everything, or even if things didn't turn out the way I wanted. Like just the act of reflecting on it is very gratitude inducing and calming. Like just take a moment to be grateful for what you did and didn't do this month.
Yeah.
And, forgive yourself.
Right. And some of the questions aren't all about what did you do? What did you not do? The questions are also like, what did you learn? Who inspired you? Who was a champion for you this month? It does really help you get in touch with specific areas of gratitude, as well as, achievement, goal, blah, blah, blah. So that's all perfect. That's all great that we're talking about, like, what keeping yourself on track with your goals, but also, what did you learn this month? What podcast did you hear that had you, inspired you? Or, what book did you read? Or, that kind of stuff too, that helps,
yes,
we live full lives, right? It's not just about like setting a goal and achieving it, which is great. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not all about that, right? It's also about human connection and, family time and all that other kind of stuff that, again, if you hadn't had a chance, take a moment to reflect on it, it'd be out of your brain and you wouldn't be.
And it actually like will even double the enjoyment, right? To think back on, oh, that was so great that we, did that thing, or it was so, I love that book so much. And I'm going to have to circle back around on that book because it was so powerful. Just who, I don't remember who said it. The unexamined life is not worth living. And I feel like that saying is taken very seriously. Like you have to examine your life, but as I get older, what I realize is just the act of reflecting on how did I feel about that experience is a very satisfying thing. And it's, I don't know, I guess I don't have the words yet to exactly describe why I find it satisfying, but I feel like the unexamined life isn't worth living. I feel like perhaps that person was talking about something much more simple than we're thinking about, right? Like,
Right.
it's not like you have to go write your memoir, but just to
Right.
say, oh, look at what I lived this day or this week or whatever, and how my husband is holding up a sign saying Socrates said that. So
Thank you, Sean. Socrates, great. So great.
I like, why is he coming into my space? Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Socrates. Yeah.
you know, I would say like I love doing a monthly review just for that moment of examining my life and saying like, okay, great.
Yeah, I think the other thing is like in a culture where, we're just, there's a lot of algorithms out there that are driving us to consume and move on to the next thing and scroll to the next thing and swipe to the next thing, that like taking the time to let yourself acknowledge and just really process, maybe even if, and by process, it doesn't have to be deep. Like, it's just kind of like,
right.
oh yeah, my kids and I went to the pumpkin patch this year. That's so great. We always go to the pumpkin patch, and there may not be many more pumpkin patches left in my kids, because they're heading into their teen years and they might not want to do it. But any of that, it's just being able to then take it in and process it, and like then it becomes like part of your like lived experience, as opposed to on to the next thing.
Exactly.
And so it doesn't, you don't get, you might be like in it, and I'm really, I do try to be mindful about when I'm in those moments. Like, yes, my kids are like, I take too many pictures, sure, but I also like try to be present, and it helps you also just really process and absorb, or that it just really becomes
hold
like,
on to it, enjoy it a second time, whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, this morning my child and I, hugged and said good morning, and I was like, you know what, that was not very satisfying. Can we do another one? So it just felt like for me to have that, like I could have just gone on with my day, and I was like, no, that was not the quality of hug I wanted.
Right.
Let's have a real
let's
hug.
let's get in there and really make it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, rather than just moving on. And I kind of feel like that's what the course correct does, is it allows you to like, was that the hug I wanted for this month? Like, yes, or what? Or
right.
it wasn't, or whatever.
Yeah. Let's go in for another hug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, no, I didn't get to talk to this friend and I really wanted to. Okay, I'm going to make that a priority. And that'll make you, just even saying that and deciding that is going to make you feel good, because you want to connect with that person, the anticipation of connecting with that person. So monthly course correct is beneficial in so many ways, profound, and
you are
literal.
going to resist doing it. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're
going to
resist
like a thing to do.
It. Right. It's just like, oh, one more thing to do. Especially like if you have it, you always feel good. It's like going to that yoga class and you're just like, oh, I gotta get in the car and drive to the yoga class. But after the yoga class and you're sitting there, you're laying there in death pose or whatever it's called at the end, where you're just like Shavasana. It feels so good, doesn't it? It feels so good.
Yeah. And one of our best tips, if you're not a student of ours and don't do it with us, is do it with a friend. Like, I'm sure if you Google monthly course correct, you can find a bunch. You can get ours at our website, bywdreams.com. Do it with a friend and, cheer each other on, because sometimes we forget our own accomplishments. And sometimes it takes someone reflecting it back at you. Like, but it was so great how you stood up for yourself to get that raise, or it was so great how you petitioned for later start times at school. I don't know, whatever the thing is. Sometimes you need someone else to point that out to you. And it's been so much more fun doing the monthly course correct with Natascha and with our students. It's just like a hangout.
Yeah, seriously. We love hanging out. The other thing too, that, I love getting to the section where it's like, what did you learn? What podcasts did you listen to? Books. Cause like invariably, Allegra's got a book she's listening to that we haven't talked about that she mentions, or one of our students will write in what they're listening to or reading and that kind of thing. I always learn something. I'm like, oh, that goes onto my must read list in the back of my planner, because you learn stuff from each other. So it's really great to do it with someone else. Helps you it's way more fun. It's way more fun.
Yeah. So, and we actually like to pick a date. We do it the last Sunday of the month almost every Sunday. I mean,
Yeah.
almost every month.
Even
And
if there's a
so-
couple of days left in the month, we just do it that last Sunday regardless.
Yeah. Sunday night's just kind of like plan for the week time. And it's nice to have a set aside time because again, it kind of makes you do it more than if you're like, oh, when it happens, right? No, set aside time. This is my planning time. We say a minute of planning saves you 10 minutes of doing. So just commit to it. Don't overthink it. Just say, oh, planning time. I'm going to do it. And one other thing
Highly
I wanted
recommend.
to mention before we sign off, we're not going to sign off just yet, but we're signing off a little bit early because I have to get into the car, is that Natascha and I have in-person workshops happening for the first time ever, public workshops.
Yeah, public.
Yeah, you can sign up for them. We are doing 2 workshops in November in Woodland Hills at Composed Living, this really wonderful store that is owned by a professional organizer who is also very sustainably minded. Her name's Elsa Elbert. She's great. Check out their website. It's a really great store. There's so many great organizational things in there.
Amazing. Yeah.
And also things, it's not just about organized, like having things in its place, but also about like an organized, like she has journals on how to meditate and, calendars to, family calendars, acrylic calendars to go on the wall to help keep you, all on the same page. So it's also about kind of like an organized life, not just stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're doing an in-person workshop there. We're also, Natascha and I are going to be giving some sort of freebies to whoever comes. We haven't figured out exactly what, but come, it'll be fun. In 1 hour, you're going to walk away with a framework that's going to save you so much time because you will never, ever look at a to-do list again and wonder, I just don't know where to start. Right.
Yeah. It really reduces the overwhelm that often it winds up happening with a to-do list.
Yeah. We are going to give you a framework. You will know exactly how to approach every to-do list from now on, and you will walk out of that workshop with that knowledge.
Right.
And
with
you'll
your
get to
current to-do list ready to go and ready to roll and ready to, just ready to handle. Yeah.
Yeah. So come to that. It's November 5th and the 14th. You can sign up for it on our website, bywdreams.com. We will also have one happening in January in the Hancock Park area at the eBell of LA. The tickets are not up yet for that, but put that, I think it's January 17th, right? It's going to be sometime in the afternoon, like 11 or 12 or 1, like midday. So save that date too. And also we're doing our Harness the Power of Planning course in January.
The 20th and 27th, we have the 2-day signature course or our flagship course, Harness the Power of Planning, the course that started it all, the one that's going to help you design your life. So in the beginning of this, we said we're here to help you prioritize yourself, save time, and help you achieve your goals. Well, that last one, achieve your goals, that's what this course is all about. It is about those other 2 as well. Yes. But day 2 is all about executing on the goals that you help unpack in day 1. We help you make a roadmap on how to go ahead and achieve those goals. So that's a fantastic course. The first time we're going to be doing it that we're doing it live in a minute, right?
Yeah,
so that's a great one too.
We only do it once a year. And there's early bird pricing right now. You can sign up for using the promo code REDHOT2024. You can get a early bird pricing on the silver package. So go to our website. You can find out all about that. And if you can't attend, so we do the sessions live, but they're recorded. So if for some reason you miss an hour, or if you even miss a whole day, you will have access to the videos for 3 months. You'll have access to us in a private group for 3 months. So there's lots of opportunities to ask questions and to fine tune your understanding of what it is that we talk about on those days.
Right. Yeah. And you really will walk away with a plan that's just going to be stellar for you.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited about being able to do the course again. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so funny because I do really enjoy doing stand-up, and maybe this is something Natascha can relate to because Natascha performs as well as she sings. And I like doing our workshops more though.
You do?
Yeah. Like it's funny because every time I do the stand-up, I'm like, I feel like I'd rather be in the audience than doing the performing.
Well, I have to say that it's awesome that you got second place and that you've moved on to the next round. That's so cool. That's fantastic. That's really, really great.
Thanks. But there was definitely part of me that was like, I'm missing out on one of the whole reasons I'm here, which is to see the other comics.
Right.
And I was just thinking about like how I was like, if I had to do every show that way, would I even want to do it? And it's funny because I don't think that way about our workshops. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do our next workshop.
Yeah, we get to do the workshop.
Yeah, that's how I feel every time we do the workshop. It's just so fun interacting with people and helping people.
Yeah. And it's great to get the feedback that people have about what has the course has changed for them and what it's awesome. Yeah.
And seeing the lights go off like, oh, I get why this works. That's so exciting. So anyway, hopefully you can join us either this year or next year, which is not that far away, crazy enough.
Right. Seriously. 2024. What?
I know. And, try doing a monthly course correct. You're probably not going to love it right away. I know it took me 6 months. The only reason
I still resist it. I'm happy when I show up, but like when I see it on my account, like it's Sunday afternoon, I'm just like, oh, right, I got the course correct. I still resist it. And so it is great to show up with people because you probably will skip it if you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm always feel glad that I've done it. I'm always feel glad that we're in the middle of it. I'm like, yes, I'm so glad I'm doing this. But, but I have that tendency to just like, I will resist things that are good for me. Even when I enjoy them, I'm just like, why does it have to be right now? But trust me, it's worth it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday at the same time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. That's right. Bye-bye.
Bye.